Oh, we are live now. Hey, welcome. We are thrilled to have you here. Our channel is all about exploring and sharing experiences in intercultural communications. You can expect engaging
Technical problems again. Good night. Yeah, Suomipoika is trying to stream from the inside, but he seems to not have it all there. So let's see. Let's try again.
Okay, how about now, dude? Say something.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, so okay, everything else aside, I am inside the building. You know, I'm on a t-shirt. I'm not in outside premises, but the connection is a bit bad. So let's see. I will walk the streets. I roam the streets at night to stream live if it's needed.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, welcome. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So now I'm here. Now I'm here.
Yeah. Mark was mute.
I was telling a lot of stories and I was mute.
So what did you say, man?
Basically,
I told everything, the whole Wikipedia I had, but I forgot now.
Yeah.
The bold man.
Oh my God! Like if they pretend to put us, all in all everything in the technological world, like our health, everything. I don't know how is it gonna work, At least I don't know. It's questionable. But
yeah,
okay.
there's some huge hurry to put things in some cloud thing, and then we just kind of made a mistake. We kind of, I would say now a curse word, fucked up. There's now 5 million people's information is like free online. You can go check their mental health information. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you can use the face recognition, the fingerprint recognition, I don't know, the butt cheek recognition with. It's not all good. But hey,
butt cheek recognition.
Yeah, what?
Butt cheek recognition is.
Have you heard of the butt cheek recognition? Everyone has
is that a new thing from Finland, like the chat, for example, back then?
We first, we all about technology first. We bring the text messages, we basically bring cell phones, and now we have butt cheek. People have to think for this. You have seen in movies at least that people take with the copy machine pictures of their butt. So this is familiar. Same technology scans the butt, and then you can put it to OnlyFans and I don't know, Tinder and God knows what else, Facebook. Because now there's no
that's a real interesting. Yeah.
Yes,
nobody has the same butt,
Yes. And butt is not a curse word. You can say butt. Muy bien. Hey, today's subject es una Española en Nederlander Suomipoika. The change. But before that, what happened in the last episode? There was some people actually has been even watching these things. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's the wonder.
Interesting stuff. Yeah. So what was the conclusion from last time? What happened in the last episode? This is what they do in like every
optimism was good. I wanted to make a point out of this. Like after the conversation, I was thinking, like, do you remember that I at some point I was telling like
Mhm.
optimism doesn't mean like you have to think positive in general, but imagine someone that wants to kill someone, he will be like it's gonna be positive that he can do it, for example, so that doesn't mean that it is a positive thing, it's a positive thing for the person that
I mean,
kill
yeah.
someone, but
Mhm.
is thinking optimist is like, yes, I'm gonna do it, or something like that, no? So this is I wanted to make this is why it's like it's optimal about the that it will be like to be optimist is, I think, like it's something that you project that you are gonna get it done, no? It should be like something like this, and that's it.
Get it,
That's
achieve it,
Basic. So I will
something
do
in that
now
way.
my
huh?
Nosferatu improvisation. We look at the
and
shadow.
another thing. Well, I will reveal what was the question. What was the neurotransmitter that it affects in the optimist? And is, you guys find out? Did you? Is dopamine. So I guess that the ether in the
Dopamine.
audience, dopamine. Yes, so I guess that they're the people in the ether, or they don't know because they didn't put anything in the comments,
They don't know.
or they didn't see that part. So that is dopamine. Yeah. So moving on. Mark.
Dopamine.
Yeah.
Is it not testosterone also?
No, it's dopamine, the main thing.
Because men have a little bit more testosterone, so men think like little boys and are always optimistic, like, oh yeah, we can do it, yeah, oh, and then afterwards, no, it was a tree. The tree was stronger, like that. Stupid optimism is that. But yeah, I think also, I find it really interesting topic also, optimism, pessimism, all those things, and what comes with it, and yeah, and for me afterwards also was really like, hey, put me to think, and then hey, maybe you have to really look with an optimistic way, even though that there are a lot of things to make you pessimistic, and that's sometimes it's a battle to do that. But if you talk like this, like we did last time, it gives a lot of energy again, probably dopamine, to make more positive thoughts and stuff like that, and that's something you can control, I think. So I find it
Yeah.
really maybe
And
sometime we talk again about it.
And what is the point also, like what you are saying, like now that you say this, like I guess like many times what happened is like people or educators or people that is teaching us to survive, like our parents or something, like many times they cultivate the stuff that they don't let you to be yourself, no, or let us to be ourselves, and to connect with the with your inner thing of willing to do something, no, like for example what you want to achieve or something. You have to have like this internal conversation for like a little kid that is experimenting about one thing or the other, no, to manifest that in the physical plane, let's put it like this. So the stuff is like many times people doesn't even try to make like this kind of like experimenting and construction, of your ideas that will be this, no, like the outcome. And what happened is like many times even when with certain education, people doesn't even try it out, because they are like cut off for trying, or
Yeah.
cut off for disconnect, to make like a disconnection of themselves, or don't try this because this is gonna be bad, you're gonna fail, or blah blah blah, you are not good enough, or you are blah blah blah, all kinds of methods that internally, me as an adult, I have feel many times, because of the fears from someone else that has become my fears as well, And of course, like when you are getting older, I think like that's getting worse, because then you are also like you are not so mobile anymore, for example, or so brilliant or so capable anymore. Like you start to lose your vision. I guess that for the elderly people it's even worse, no? When you encounter the real physical limitations, that even makes it more like you are more disconnected from yourself. I think. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
you
think
are.
too. Yeah, I think that too. That's definitely, if you have physical limitations, you cannot do everything. And I think also, like, especially if you put, let's say, a parent puts his or her fears or whatever onto a child, or his lackings, what that person had. That child, like you said, will not be creative, and it will not make failures. And you have to fall to learn to walk, stuff like that. It's really the truth. And yeah, well, if you have that all your life, your experiences you build up in life will only make it heavier. And then if you're older, you have a little bit more difficulties to overcome the things which would be easy to overcome when you're young. And that's I think a lot of people have problems with that. But then
Mhm.
the challenge is even bigger to find the dopamine and testosterone to change things who yeah, can be really
Yeah.
hard, and that's a thing. But yeah, so but
Also,
I
like
think
you can do like to increase those kind of things, like that one thing that helps a lot actually is like moving, making, like walking, like bicycling, whatever
mm,
thing, so that increase your levels and of dopamine, and it makes like you see the things in another way when they are trying to, for example, like remember with the pandemic, no, what happened, no, that a lot of people was just sitting in their houses because they could not go out. Like some people in Spain, they were like the lockdowns, for example, and
mm,
in other, I don't know how many countries, but you could not go out. What I have here, you cannot go out. It was like fun that there was some people that you could go only out to walk your dog. So they imagine in a block of houses there was only like 2 persons having a dog, and they were making like turns, for to walk the dog outside.
That would have a problem here because the people seem to have a lot of dogs. You actually, by the way, that was an interesting point. In general, it's like if you have a dog, you can talk to another person without any problem if they have a dog also. It's like you can be
Yeah.
sort of like friends. That's so funny. I missed a lot.
yeah,
Sorry, I
Yeah,
apologize.
we are just like thinking
but
about like the optimist part. So we were like in a resume that you were missing, that the neurotransmitter that contributes to
Yeah,
this
but
is the dopamine. Yes,
yeah, I hear the dopamine
because
stuff,
that's
and
one.
then some
And
people
then
shoot
I was
themselves.
talking about the disconnection that we have, like many times by education or whatever,
Yeah,
that it from the ways that you want to do something and to see the optim outcome of this sometimes is
optimal.
difficult because there is not a train there, or you have not, or they have not let you experience that.
Yeah, I think that the claims from somebody claims about the pandemic business was that basically that were made much worse everything because people were sitting and not exercising and not doing things.
Well,
That
in the other hand, there was like a lot of people like moving inside the house, but the stuff is like
yeah,
it's much more easy, to when you have a sofa next to you, it's much more easy not move than move, So it's like a
you could try
temptation.
to put the sofa.
Temptation. Now the chain comes in the
Now
mood.
the change.
The subject
About
of today is the chain,
the chain.
right?
Yeah, that's
The
hey,
chain. What is the
I
chain?
guess
Nah.
Depends on
Chain,
how
chain,
you look at it.
Chain. I don't know. Is there a song that says
The
chain,
chain.
chain?
The chain. Let's start for the
Maybe.
definition of the object.
Yes. Okay.
Venga,
A chain
Suomipoika.
is a steel
chain.
object.
What is a chain?
Chain, at least for me, first thing is the metal thing that has other round metal things being put to each other. I have had that for keys, like maybe like an idiot, or I don't know, for like decades since I was on my teens or something.
So
Because it was
you have
cool
the same
writing
image.
Uh,
Mark, do you have the same image of a chain?
I had
in your head?
I had the same image. If you talk about a chain, you talk about that.
The
You know,
physical,
but
yes. A metal
that's
similar
object
size.
with yeah, things like
Yep,
that. No?
yep.
Yes.
Should we put a picture of a chain?
A new
Should we put a picture of a chain?
new communication.
Yeah,
We have this one,
and then this one, and then this one.
and this one.
What? Hey, look, with one hand. One leg.
Oh, you have a one hand. You only go right side.
Yeah. I don't know what it's that about, man. That's just strange, dude. That's just bloody strange, man. Hey,
Oh,
but I might be experiencing more technical difficulties, so please then move forward and and I will try to hang. If nothing else, like I said, I'm gonna go to the street, dude. Okay.
I will
Yeah.
give you the resume.
So,
Go on the
space.
street.
So the chain, I can agree with you. It's metal or something. If it's not metal, it's something that is having two ends, and then it can be a rope or whatever. But no, that will not be a chain. But it's more like metal.
A
no?
chain
Something
doesn't
like-
end.
Eh?
A chain doesn't end. A chain is like a chain reaction. It always keeps
No,
going.
chain. No, but that's change. But I mean chain.
No, it's a chain
It's
reaction.
almost the same.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
chain
Got it.
reaction.
I was right.
And by the way, I wanted to ask you. Actually, now you agreed. So everybody's first impression is that. But what was the second impression?
It's a
Because mine
metal
would be
thing
chain.
that attaches stuff. Okay.
Metal thing.
My second reaction was like a chain reaction. Can be anything, but
Okay.
let's say
Yeah.
we're talking about something. It's a connection of things what happen behind each other, but
Okay.
are connected
That is
because
more like
they
that
has
is-
to do with the same thing.
So that is more like you have to project what is the chain, so you have to observe the what it does, no? So if you will have observed what the chain does, what is the purpose, for a chain? What is the usage of it? For what?
Connection.
Let's talk about connect. Okay.
Movement.
Yes. For me, is to put the animal carcass on the roof of the butcher house. Am I strange? No, but I don't know.
No, you are just finished. That's not strange.
Yeah. The hell stuff. You have some bar that the chain is hanging from the roof and they basically make everywhere.
Okay. For me, it's a thing that is for to attach one thing to each other. No, this is how I see, and it can be several things attached to them, the chain, or at least has to be like two things or one thing attached to the chain. So at least one thing has to be attached into the chain, because otherwise there is not usage of the chain for anything. For what is a chain is for to put things together. So to make a dependent connection from each other, I would say. What do you think?
Connection, yeah.
A dependent
definitely.
connection from each other.
Yeah, that's connection is definitely a chain thing, Finland is moving his mouth, but we don't hear him.
Okay, no.
No, I cannot hear him.
No. No.
Technical problems again.
We cannot hear you.
It's also a chain reaction. So he comes up, he goes again.
Yeah.
Chain reaction. So yeah, that's a chain.
The stuff. Okay. So we can agree on that, like that is to connect to things or to make it dependent one of each other. I mean, like
it's like
that would be more easy if one.
It's like the three of us also have a connection and also have a chain, because we have like a chain, and we are talking, and what connects us is this YouTube channel. Besides that, we are friends. We have this YouTube channel that connects us, and that makes movement and all those things. So,
okay,
can
but
we hear
if we
Finland
are talking,
again?
If we move now to the metaphorical or more elevated way, what that symbol provokes in your head? What is like a chain? No.
Yeah, then it's the. Do you mean like if I can project it in my head or something?
Yeah, meaning like we are not moving. We are not talking anymore about the object, but we are talking more about like what makes you think of, if when you see a chain.
Let's say like to combine our last conversation from our last stream. If you combine, let's see, you're at a point in life and you want to move to another point in life, and you use optimism, because optimism brings you from one point to the other point, and then you have to do actions, and you have to make steps, you have to conquer maybe bad habits or problems or stuff like that, and all that together from point A till point B is like a chain. You have to put the chain, all the things. Some people call it the road, or you can the travel, you can call it anyway or anything, but it's also like a chain to come from A to B. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, but that will also like be a consequence of the movement of the chain, no? That is like a reaction, like a domino effect, no? Like
a chain is flexible.
Like yes. So that will, like kind of like a snake.
Okay, like this.
Yes. Yeah, because it's like an action reaction, from something.
Yep.
But
so the chain can move.
What I mean is not this. The point is like what I want you to think, like if you see a chain, what kind of thing reminds you, about like for example, I mean in a philosophical way,
Ole, can you hear me now, by the way?
So
yes.
What is for you, Pasi?
But keep going. I'm here. I listen.
Okay. Well, I don't really understand what you mean in a philosophical way. It's like no, I don't really know what you mean. So you go first, and then I will know what you mean. What do you see?
If I think in a chain, for me, if I think on a chain, it comes automatically the loss of freedom, for example. or that I am dependent of something, or yeah, like loss of freedom for me. Like when something is attached to other thing, is in a physical way, means like restriction of movement for me. What is for you?
Well, now you say it like that. That's also a thing you can see, like you're trapped by chains and you cannot move forward. That can also be a thing. It's again, it's the experience. Every person has his or herself, with optimism and pessimism, with positive and with negative. If you have positive feelings, then you feel like a chain. Oh, a chain is movement, can go like this. Is maybe something to hold on and to pull yourself out of the hole you're in or something. You can see it like that.
But that doesn't stop to make you depend, because that's exactly what I mean. For example, if someone pulls you out of a place, that you are dependent of that help, anyway. You see what I mean? So that
if you have a chain, a chain is like
is to connect. Doesn't matter the purpose, but the stuff is like you are dependent, and that it could be positive or negative, then. But you are dependent of the other end, because it depends how the other end behaves. You are gonna behave as well, because exactly for what you're saying, the reaction.
That's the thing. So a chain is like an object you can use both ways, like in positive and in negative.
Yeah, it's not nothing else but a tool to connect two things. Yes. And then there is the stuff. How do you the uses of the chain, and there is the I think this is the point where we have to go to in our conversation today. For what is this? Like, for example, let's put it like this. For example, if we talk about temptations or desires that influence our daily decisions, like, what do you think about that? Well, Suomipoika is probably he went, like he said, he went to the street.
He's like flying.
Yes, so
getting to the butcher with a chain,
Yeah.
To get some meat. Now he's coming back. Do you have the meat?
Okay.
He doesn't know what we're talking about.
What?
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you. I changed that. This is the third browser, so that's the stuff. But yeah, I am charging a reserve battery, and when it's charged enough, if this keeps going, I will soon have enough, so I can probably then stream on the streets of Helsinki.
Okay.
Streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, how, for example, this desire or temptation, for something can be a chain, or how influence this.
I think temptation and desire are two things which are really important in everyday life. It's I think desire is a little bit more important than temptation. Temptation is more like a side thing. So yes, I do think that's really a big thing in modern life, in daily life, because everybody has desires. Can be little one like, oh, I want a coffee in the morning, till some desires I cannot talk about here, till some desires like in life, or like a new car or whatever, can be anything.
So, and how do you think that we are, like, for example, like how chained we are to our desires or temptations, and if it's a valuable thing or not, or what is the point of like optimal point? Let's put it like this.
Can you hear me now, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Maybe I will
Go
say
ahead.
something.
Yes.
Something.
You can
That's
talk.
it. Okay. I think it was like, is it in Zen Buddhism or Zen stuff? It's like when you and Buddhism that you're not supposed to desire anything, and then you're free, then you are calm, then you don't want anything, something like that.
Yeah, but that also abnegate the person, no? If you have born with it, but then you cannot use it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But
what?
what they're saying that you then basically the problem is that if you desire not to desire, that's a problem because you desire something. So you have to get to this stage that it's like somehow comes without effort, that you don't desire anything, that it comes out somehow like automatic without you desiring it. You know what I mean?
We lost you.
So that's kind of
We lost you again.
No, I was
can
still
hear you
hearing
really
him.
Yeah, I still hear you also. Now is
Now,
Spain gone?
now Spain is gone. Yeah, now Spain is gone.
Oh, that's a bit of a
Now.
big loss, I guess. Fair enough.
Now
It
she's
was
back
me
again.
this time. Okay. So?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they can affect in many ways. From chocolate to God knows what, basically. So it can affect person's health, for example, like if you and the people, there's a lot of obese people, for example, people eat because it's, sugar is a bit of a not really nice thing, right?
Nah. But it's
I think
nice,
it's a
but
bloody
it's not
drug
good.
in the end. And how many ban probably for saying it. Okay, moving on.
So what do you think about like desires and temptations? What will be the point? I think like it should be the point, like you keep those, but it's like in a way that it makes you functional, because in the point you are not you are like in a chain, let's put it like this, of these desires or temptations. You are gonna be making
Trapped.
like probably not so good long-term decisions either. And the other way to do the other way around, for example, like it's only like to answer for instant desires and temptations. Maybe you fulfill also yourself what you want in that moment, but maybe it's like a short-term thing. So I think that would be like in the middle, that the optimal thing, no? What do you
The
think?
Dutch way.
The Dutch way, yes.
I just wanted to say that just do it the Dutch way, just in the middle, like balanced out, just balanced
And
out.
how is it for you, for example, had your desires and your temptations, you put it in the first place, or you do it in the middle way? How is it in your case? You are a Dutch guy,
for
actually.
me, for the
Yeah.
Dutch guy.
For you.
Oh, me, I'm the Dutch guy. Oh yeah, but for example, desire and temptations are for me. For me personally, are really important because they show me my feelings, my personality, my how I am as a person. So they tell me that, and if I have desires, that makes goals in life. That where you want to go or what you want to achieve or things like that. And some temptations can be dangerous that you go off path or something. But on the other hand, what we talked in the beginning, some temptations can lead you that you fall, and because you fall, you're learning, and then also again good for life. Like in that way. So yeah, I think desire and temptation are for me a really important thing in daily life and in total life. But you always have to be a little bit self-control that you keep the desire and the
Balance.
temptations in balance. And the Dutch are really good. The Dutch are really good in balance. So, yeah. And how is it for the Spanish? You have temperament, and
Yeah,
you know,
I'm thinking about. I think like we want things and we want things fast, and like yeah, I think like we have learned also I have learned to wait a little bit, no? Yeah, for me it's
mm,
like it has been a like hard time to wait a little bit to get what I want, or
mm,
to like to have the patience and not to go like boom, right away. But I think like the point is like uh, what I like, no, from desires and temptation is like when you have a desire or a temptation of doing something, it makes you feel that you're alive. Because the problem will be like if
mm,
you don't have desires of temptations. So there is like the balance, no, between the positive thing that is to have this feeling and the dangerous thing that can be when you are just prison of your desires and temptations only, and there it
mm.
becomes a chain.
Yeah. Then you can become in the trap chain down, or in the lifting chain up, but it's still in a chain. Yeah. So
Hmm. What about you, Suomipoika? Where do you put the desires and temptations?
Guys,
I guess at the first place become a good internet.
Suomipoika? No, I think that
Yeah.
he should go out to find the to
To
find the
walk the
chain.
dog.
To find the chain.
Find the chain and walk the dog. You know?
Oh my God,
So
that's good. Yeah. So yeah, it's something interesting. Like I think like this is why we have these things, no? This desire
yeah,
and temptation.
definitely.
Because if we will not
It's
have this, I think that we will not eat. We will not survive without this.
no,
No.
it makes us human. I guess um, I don't know. I cannot talk with animals, but I think animals have it too.
Yeah. Of course,
And
of course.
and there you have like I used to have horses, and sometimes you had those horses. I called them also always the little bit more stupid horses, but you had some dead horses, and they stayed in a field full of grass. They have plenty food. They can eat really good, but they want that piece of grass, but is on the other side of the electric fence.
Uh-huh.
So they go like really onto it with their head and stuff, and then put the head under the electric fence, and then eat that grass with the tongue out, because they have the temptation and the desire for that grass. And then their ear touched the
The
electric
electric.
wire, and then the horse, of course, goes like, "Wah!" Yeah, and all the electric wire and everything broken again. And that only because of the desire to have that grass. So I guess this is just one example of many I
Yes,
can
yes,
make, but
yes.
I guess animals have it too. I
And
always think animals have
I
feelings.
think
So,
I think that when you are telling this about the horse, it's like automatically comes to my head that's like opening your explore zone, that to expand
yeah,
your zone, actually, because like you are telling about the horse, you have all the time this kind of uh they are inside a how to say inside I think inside a place, no? And there is like the electrification. So they have the stuff to go to some place, you know, like to go to cross that fence and to go to some place, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
that
a way
grass
to
there,
explore. Yes.
that grass
It's a-
there is more nicely because maybe they taste it because you put them in the field, and then you
Yeah.
have to walk over it to come in the field. And while you're walking, they eat a little bit here and eat a little bit there, and they remember, oh, that grass
Yeah.
over there was really good. It had fine mayonnaise smack on it, and like I don't know, you know.
But
And
if we will not have that temptation like the horse have, our you know conquer space will be like that, you know. We will keep on the same place all the time. We will not expand, no. Yes.
because I think this desire is more like a basic part of our being, you know, of our personalities. You know, it's more basic. Temptation is the more riskful. You know,
Yes.
temptation can make you do stupid things. Yeah, and but sometimes
In that
those stupid
temptation,
things bring you in good things. You know, that's the thing. It breaks us free, like the horse from the field. It breaks us free.
yeah, I think that temptation is something like you should not. It's like an action or a wish that you should that it's gonna bring some kind of punishment, no? I
Maybe
mean,
it's
like
more like
something
maybe
like
it's
that.
like
This is
this.
how when you have a
Maybe
temptation
it's
of eating chocolate
yeah.
and the stuff is like when you know that you cannot eat it, then it becomes in a temptation, you know, that you know you want to do it but you cannot do it. So
Yeah, I think like
that's temptation, no?
you have to desire to eat chocolate, but you may not have chocolate, but the temptation is that big that you secretly get the chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. Or the
So
horse gets the grass, and that makes yes.
yeah, you know,
But yeah,
and
yes.
that breaks the chain. Let's say desire is the chain and temptation breaks the chain. You know,
Hmm.
something like that. And those
Hmm.
all together form also another, that's the chain reaction.
Hmm.
So you can play a little bit with the
Or
words.
the temptation makes you feel that you have a chain, you know, actually, you know, because when you are
That can be true.
confronting with the horse is like burning his head. It reminds him that, you know, like, okay, stay inside, you know, so you cannot go out. So the temptation is like preventing, not the consequence of crossing the border, you know. It's like keeping the inside. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes him to feel that he's in a chain, that he's prisoner of his temptations, and that also it has a consequence, you know.
Mm.
So
And
that's what it is.
yeah, and how can you find a balance between satisfying your desires and maintaining control over your life?
Yeah, that's a good question. That I think like yeah, I think like this is what I was like thinking at the beginning when we were talking about like this connection that you have to have with the inner thing.
Mm.
I think that has to be clean always. Like you have to update that no one has erased it. Like by, for example, like to review, no, what in your education, your parents, your anything, and to connect with your wishes. So wishes, yes, but then with balance. I think, no. I think
Mm.
that that's the unsatisfied those desires is okay, but I was like pondering. I don't know if it's in English. Pondering that
Mm.
well, exactly that if I eat too much or if I do this, that's gonna lead to a consequence, of course, but also like this kind of thing, because there is other ones who has also wishes, and to do some things. So my wishes cannot be less than others' wishes, and the other way around. So I have to always like to have empathy also with the others that are in the other side. I think that's also a key for regulating this thing.
To be aware from your surroundings, and the people in your surroundings. Yeah, I think too. That's
because even I am not a religious person or something like this, but I think like in a practical way, like there is like this commandment or something that they say that you don't wish for others what you don't want for yourself, So I think that's quite clever. I think this is quite balanced, the stuff. And then
of course.
there is where the wishes enter in a good path, I think.
Yeah, treat others as how you yourself want to be treated. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's also the thing. But I sometimes it depends also. I think in which part of your life you are, because balancing desires and all that is also a little bit like growing up, and growing up can be dangerous because then you become too serious, like too planned out, too balanced out, stuff like that. And maybe it's or maybe I really think that you have to keep your desires burning, and sometimes let temptations guide you, through things or to things or whatever. And the only balance is like to always be the smart guy, a little bit, and keep them in control that much that you don't get in real problems or something. But I guess the balance there is to keep them burning so life stays alive,
Totally.
and not get like
Yeah,
I really think like that. So
yeah.
And I don't know if there are people online, but if somebody is online, they can. No one online.
They could check, or they could put how they do it, what they think about, like if it's good, like to satisfy their desires, and do you think like I now the society is like proposing you that you are like like satisfying fast your desires, because this is something that I see like very common, no? That now is like a fast thing, like people doesn't wait, and it's like really like fast, like reward fast, What do you think?
Yeah, life is fast, but that comes on one side, life goes really fast, but on the other side, I guess life is also getting more slower and more boring. Because
there is less interaction, physical interaction with each other. No, people is like really disconnect. They are chained, but they are disconnected. You know what I mean? It's a strange thing. What happened with the
it's a really strange thing, but I think slowly more and more people are coming back again. Like we want personal and physical contact and stuff like that, and even through telephones and stuff, it's possible, to have really personal contact. But that's the whole online thing and stuff, and the life goes faster, that's the thing. But people shouldn't balance it out. Yeah.
Hello.
No.
There he is.
Yeah, I'm walking the
Okay.
streets, man.
All
can I
right.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
the place. So I have been listening. I've heard much of what you said, but anyway, now I'm on. I have
okay,
a
perfect.
battery, so I'm gonna roam the streets and sit on a rock outside in the sun.
Yeah,
Okay.
But it's actually plus
the
5
streets
or
of
6.
Helsinki.
Really good.
So
Really
what do have you been listening, or do you need a
Yeah,
resume?
I was listening, but basically it cut every once in a while, so it was like listening to a phone call and no phone call, like it's
Yeah, we
that's
were
not
asking if there is people that is like watching us, or the world, that they can comment how they feel, like, you know, like if there is a good thing, like to satisfy the desires or the temptations, or what they do, if it's good regulating this or what. And by the way, if you like what we are doing, like, please subscribe. That we are, it would be like really good for us, you know, like to increase the channel, you know, and yeah, to carry on with what we are doing, because we really love to do that, and we have fun. And I think that you know, that also, like, it opens the debate, you know. So that will be really nice if you come live. I think that well, our timings are a little bit crazy, because we are always putting some time, and then we come when we can. Yes, because
Yeah.
we have like different timings also in our respective lands. So yes,
Mm.
so it's not always that easy. But
Different time zones.
yes,
and who
Suomipoika, please talk, because we have been here like having a duologo.
I'm just waiting for a moment because
Yes,
you know
go ahead.
for communication there is like you see Spanish people or someone else talking, it's like in top of each other somehow. I don't know. I'm like and then coming into a wrong poor part to the stuff. Okay, moving on. So with the subscribing and all that stuff, there is also this that who knows where I'm gonna stream next? The Antarctica. English. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, you put all the subscribing and liking and plus your money, and that's the stuff. That will help. Maybe
Well, at least subscribe, because that will help for now. Then we can provide later a link, you know, for donation, for example, if you want. But now we continue with the debate, please.
Go
So yes, so yeah, what is for you, Suomipoika? Because we didn't hear. Like, do you prefer like you are like you are like, let's put it like this, dependent of your desires and temptations, or you are like a person that controls more, that you can
I
leave
think
it
he
to
controls
later,
more.
I guess
or
at some point.
yeah, control, yeah, that is not, it's not so chained to those.
Yeah, well, chain for me could mean like you're basically a slave to something basic. I think
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
one thing that comes to mind. Like you are stuck with something, and well, I think in general with elderly age already, like the ripe age of what I have, I think I try to deal with many things more. And I think younger I were, there was like certain things that were, for example, chocolate. Well, like that like at some point has been like, well, that's still a little bit like an Achilles heel because I have it, I eat it. That's it. I can try to regulate it, but I eat it. So it's
So
like
you succumb to the temptation.
yeah, in that
The
sense,
temptation is powerful.
yeah, and that's like
Even
then
if you feel like shit later.
yeah,
Doesn't matter.
I don't really feel even that bad. It's just really good. No, but I don't know what to say. I maybe at some points I've been kind of going, but then maybe I learned that it doesn't in a long term maybe necessarily bring you things that you maybe were looking for, and I guess yeah, I think there's been points in my life that I've been more just going, and then not.
Okay. And what do
So
you think about?
I think it's like I think for me it has been like with the chocolate, for example, has been that, well, there's a temptation when you have the chocolate, so you remove the temptation by not having chocolate. Or then when I was thinking that with, for example, alcohol at some point, let's say that in that case was like if you don't want to drink, then you don't drink at all, and you don't go to the bar, because if you go, then you want to drink, and then you drink. So that was one way to like deal with that, is that you remove this sense. But now for
Yeah, so you remove the temptation, so you don't access to the temptation. So this is a way to regulate you, actually, to forbid yourself to have it around.
For example, what a good example? I'm here, by the way, sitting on one neighbor's sort of like this kind of stone kind of fence thing. Hopefully they don't get bothered. They're nice people. I don't think so. Maybe I'm not so loud. And Finland wants to kill you. There's ice everywhere, covered like mirror ice with water. So that's fun. But yeah, but then now comes to alcohol. That's interesting because I have had wine at home that went bad. I have like a bottle of Sambuca that basically is gone old, and I didn't drink it. There's like, and then I have had beers in the fridge for weeks, and I didn't touch them. Then there was some beer that went bad in the closet. You know what I mean? So with alcohol, I made complete. Now I have no. I don't know if I would have a huge problem earlier that if there's alcohol, I have to drink it, you know. But I concerned that I don't drink. Now I can drink easily 2 beers, and it's actually, I prefer more nowadays that. Sometimes it's maybe a few more, but like there's no problem on my view in that sense. Even though I can sense it that if you take beers, let's say you take a couple, and then you start to have maybe a few more, and then it's easier. Suddenly, I think it was in last Juhannus Midsummer Fair, I understood that I had drunk like 10 beers, and I was thinking like I could have stopped with 5, you know, like I don't even know why I was, you know, so it's easy, but easy to get back to that, for example. But for me, for example, like I can have now a couple of beers and I'm not, maybe I feel like,
that for me, of course, like a Spanish, for me, this kind of dialogue for me sounds like Chinese, you know, because I don't never thinking about like the amounts of alcohol because the point is like it's a chain.
Me neither.
We are not dependent of the alcohol. I mean, like there is alcohol around, it's fine. If there is not, it's also fine, you know. And that is my but I mean like the 10. Because you said like 10 beers, and for me, like 10 beers, the thinking in 10 beers is a lot, you know?
Well, depends who you ask.
For one person.
It depends on how you ask.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. But, you know, like a person that has, that enjoy the alcohol doesn't drink 10 beers at once. You know what I mean?
But when I was younger, I drank 20 beers also.
For example, what
happened? Yeah, but for a Spanish person, it doesn't. No.
Yeah, okay.
And in my family, they have drink always in the.
Well, the fun, what this was, for example, for me with the Midsummer Fest is like, it took hours and hours to drink this amount. So it was like continuous sort of drinking, not like you drink 1-2 hours, you drink 10 beers. And, I wasn't super drunk or anything, but it was just like, then it was like a habit. It was there, you drank it. But yeah, I understand that the culture with alcohol is absolutely entirely different between.
Different, totally. And the stuff is like, that doesn't mean that the Spanish people, we don't drink, or there is not alcoholic people in Spain. Yes, there is. But it's different. The approach to this is like not as set. I don't know how to. It's not like there is not like a psychodependence so much, you know. Like I don't know.
You always have to. You always be in, like I said, you always have to be a little bit in control of your desires and your temptations.
Exactly.
And I guess desires and temptations change in time, when you grow older and stuff. Your desires change a little bit, and or get achieved, and then you get new desires or whatever. You know, it changes in life.
except for chocolate.
Well,
No,
some
no,
things
no,
never
but
change, huh?
I remember there was a fast story about this alcohol stuff, and then about the temptation and how that somebody was there in the States in America. I heard this when I was a teenager. Somebody was telling like, then there was a guy who had a 6-pack of beer. He went with his American friends, and then they were totally appalled about the idea that, so who did you buy the beer? It's like, for me, it's only 6 beers, and they were thinking that he needs help. And in me,
Yeah,
I would
but
be
that are Americans.
moderate amount. Even if you would have a night out to somewhere, you know, you go with your friends, you take a 6-pack of beer, it's nothing. At least I used to think so. Now I think I could share the 6-pack with at least one person or two, and it would be totally fine. You know what I mean? But I don't know
Well,
enough.
if you think objectively, like for example, like the with the alcohol controls and stuff, like with 2 beers, you cannot drive. Meaning, like you are affected already by the alcohol. So
Depends on
meaning,
how-
like
I can drive with 2 beers.
yeah, you can drive, but legally you could
I'm
not.
sure you are not driving
You cannot.
after.
Yes, in Holland you could. I don't know at the moment, but it used to be you can have 2 beers and you can drive.
Okay, quest. I'm gonna ask to the brain.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see.
it really
What are the
depends.
limits?
I have seen people who drink really like 10 beers or something, stepped in a car, drove, and the police stopped them, and they had to blow in the machine, you know, the alcohol detector machine, and the machine didn't detect anything. Even the guy said himself, was, what the fuck, you know? I've seen that.
Yes.
And some people only drink a nip and they're gone, you know. So it also depends, I guess, a little bit. What are you used to, you know? So a little bit, but
Yeah, of course that
mostly,
that is different how affect different bodies, no? That is
Mhm.
if you are
It's
bigger,
the
you're smaller,
weight
if
and
you ate, if you don't. But I mean, like there is a like normal, for example, the limit in Holland, the limit I am reading here is 0.0 grams per liter in blood. So
0.3 grams.
yes, that's the
that
limit.
doesn't say me
And
anything.
for
But
example,
What 0.
in
What?
Finland, 0.5 is the same in
Ah.
the 3 countries actually.
Okay, I was thinking.
And then, well, the exceptions, how they put it, they say the drivers in Holland, the drivers that have been driving less than 5 years, or less than 24 years, they can have only 0.2. And in Finland is 0.5, and then the limit if you have 1.2, I think that you have like a already like prison shit, you know. And then in Spain is 0.5, the same, but the professional drivers, like for example the truck drivers or the ones that are like less of two years of license, they can only have 0.3.
okay, well, that's good.
So, well, but my point was not this, but the point is like that there is like a point where you start to not be yourself, you know, that there is like your reflex change and everything like that. So that's the point of stopping, I think. Because, well, I mean, like
Stopping
people,
with alcohol.
yeah, I mean, not
You mean?
not stopping with. It's like the regulation, you know. I think that because I don't get the point. Like then, if you go further, that is not fun anymore. You know what I mean?
If you are too far away that you're just sitting like, whoa, and
Yeah, you
the
just
whole
want to
world
sleep.
turns,
Then.
huh?
You just want to
Yeah,
sleep, basically.
that's
So
not fun,
I
you
don't
know.
get the point in there. So that is when I think like you are in a chain, actually. You know. in that sense, that you are like, because it doesn't make sense. It yes, you satisfy like kind of
It can happen, you know. It can
yeah.
happen. Like if you have a nice evening with friends or something, or you're at a party or so, and you're drinking and drinking and dancing. Or no, I don't dance, but some people do. And well, and they are dancing or having fun or whatever, and then yeah, it can happen that you drink too much or whatever. You know, it can be. It's not a good thing, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that
It
can
doesn't
be, but
have use, you know.
yes, but it's again like, but like, yeah, maybe you miscalculate, and that's another story. But the people that use
No, I hear static only.
Mm.
Spain is gone for now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spain is gone. Is it
Are you
cold?
drinking beer, man?
I always keep drinking beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Not
Yeah,
at the moment, but
I guess the point in Holland and in Germany and everything, the beer is like also like milk or something. I think that's my impression.
like milk. How do you mean? Everybody drinks
I mean,
beer.
like water or something like that is really like it's not really frowned upon that you can have a beer whenever you want, wherever you want, sort of. I guess.
Yeah, you can drink beer everywhere if you want. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, can you have, if you go to eat, for example, lunch at work, can you have a beer, or is it somehow that you shouldn't?
No. Or at work, well, in Holland, you cannot drink beer at work. No alcohol at work. It's not allowed. In Germany, sometimes it is, and well, I don't know, but not too long years back, it was still a little bit normal thing to have a beer at work.
Yeah.
Have a beer after work, like on a Friday or something. That's
Yeah.
okay in Holland, yes.
Yeah, because I would assume that in Spain, for example, if you go for a lunch, it's totally normal to drink a glass of wine with the lunch, right? And nobody's
yes,
gonna look funny. And here, if you
no,
would go to lunch with your friends from work and you will have a beer, they would probably look at you really strange with.
because it's intrinsic in our culture, because like we have like a glass of wine, you know, like is even good for the heart, you know, and it's like good for health. But one glass of wine, not one bottle, you know, and this is the stuff now
Ah,
you get
now you're telling.
claro, in Spain, in our culture, first, when we get, for example, the Catholics, when you go to the church, you get wine, because then you have like
We
the
get
bread of
they get
Christ,
wine here. The
and then it's
Lutherans get
inside
wine also. Dude.
eh?
The
It's
Lutherans
inside
get wine
wine,
also.
and they give it to the people, you know. So the stuff is like the blood is compared to the wine, the blood of Christ, you know. So the stuff, how this is the cultural stuff that we have, you know, also, and then
So
the stuff is like
each
yes,
time by lunch you're drinking blood, for
yeah.
example.
No, meaning like when people go to church,
Well, literally, yes.
they celebrate
not
meaning
Spanish are vampires.
the ceremonial of the Catholics.
Yeah,
It's
but
like they
it's not
offer the blood and the bread of Christ,
Yeah.
no?
yes, it's
And
the
the blood
body
is
and
the wine.
I
Okay?
think
Can
here,
I finish?
yeah, sorry.
The blood is the wine, and the bread is the ostra, we call it in Spain. So I
Body.
think that the body, yes, but you know it's called ostra. Ostia, perdón, no ostra. Ostia. So that is the thing that every, I mean, like we have a lot of wine in Spain. We commercialize wine, and there are studies that one glass of wine a day is good for your health if you only take one glass a day, but it's not that you drink all the bottle. My grandmother has died with 105 years old. 105. Listen, and she was drinking always one glass of wine till she have died. You know, so
Well, maybe
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's not bad. It's not bad to drink a little bit alcohol. It's good.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, like it's good. I mean, like I'm not promoting this or anything like that, but this is what the doctors and they say. Another thing that I see is that is not okay. Is like you become dependent of something, you know. And if you don't have a glass of wine in a day, it doesn't matter. I don't drink wine at all, you know, nowadays. So, but
Every adult can choose for
decide for
himself. You
themselves.
know,
Exactly.
decide for
But
himself. Yes.
exactly, totally. Because in the end, like we were talking, you have your own body, you have your own wishes, your own exploration, and I think like the freedom to explore this, it's like what makes you be yourself, you know, as well. That we are not the same, all like A, B, C, you know. So all
So
because I think
basically,
this is how I
to,
feel
to,
that they want, you know, that we are all
if
A, B, or
to drink
C.
to
No.
drink wine, you have to have consent. It's important to have mutual consent. That the wine says yes and you say yes. If the wine says no, you say yes. It's not okay. I think yes.
Exactly.
And that's
And then,
why I
That's
drink
bad.
beer
That's
because
probably a
beer
story
is
from
not that
that.
complicated.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
that might have been maybe that was a bit of a stupid joke, but yeah. Anyway, it's supposed to be funny, but maybe it's not all.
Can we see your face, Suomipoika?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but somehow
Yeah.
I am
So the other stuff
dancing
that I
in the
wanted to
rain.
ask, what do you think about like materialism, for example? Do you see this as a chain also?
Yes, if you ask me, yes, most definitely. I would say that my personal relation to that is like I guess certain like things I kind of well it depends on a person what you consider, but I don't think I ever had really this that I have to have the at least with any more age that I have to have the best bloody most expensive phone or the clothes, but that like there is in certain things it's nice to have some nice
Suomipoika,
things.
can you put your face in the screen because
Now it's there.
otherwise we yes, yes,
Are you now
yes,
happier? Muy
yes.
bien. So basically, yeah, I think I would be more like the funny thing is that yeah, the idea is that how these material things are sold to you is with a feeling mostly. That's the best way to sell you anything, and everything is sold with a feeling that this will make you happier, this will make you feeling like this and that and all that. So I think for me, I would still say that I would be more for experiences in a sense. And I don't
So we are
having some
you,
stuff that is not so exciting. I would rather, let's say that rather to have a new television, I would rather take a trip somewhere, for example, or like something like this. That maybe more active thing. I am not so, but yeah, in some things, some nice stuff is nice. For phones, I have had an iPhone for many years, and I've been buying the cheapest version they have available for like I don't know a few times, and that's like I kind of like to have that. Maybe it's because it seems convenient to use it. I got used to using it, but I don't have any desire to have the newest and €1,500 telephone, for example. I see that it's ridiculous. But in some things, it's nice to have some material things, and then yeah, it's easy to get hooked also, I guess.
what about you, that guy?
That guy. Materialism is not so my thing. Also, I also like more like feelings, experiences, stuff like that. Materialism, like for example, in my living room or stuff, is just to give me a good atmosphere. Like a good feeling and stuff like that. By decorating it in that way, but I like old stuff, and so no materialism is for me. It's no, it has
Have you?
to work. Like if you talk about telephones, I always buy old telephones. Like a few things back, and then they are cheaper, and they go with me till they die. So
And do you
I
think like
don't.
for example, like there is a lot of people or that consider, for example, like material things like a projection of themselves, and they are like attached to it to portray, for example, that it regulates, for example, how they feel. For example, if they don't have
Yes.
this or that item, they feel like they are losers. Do you think?
No, I think it goes that far that don't know if you think of this modern time or it has been always like this. I don't know, but it goes so far that they even make feelings as if it is materialistic. You know, everything is materialistic based, and yeah, I think it's a really problem because it kills the desire and the fire and everything.
Like for example, like if there is a birthday, imagine there's a birthday. I put an example. It's a birthday, or is that a party where you are supposed to bring a present, or like to buy something for someone. But what is the important thing? That you are buying the thing, or that you are sharing a thing, no, with the person.
I always yes, you talk.
So
Yes.
I would say that one thing that what is actually more, if you think that you get a gift, I think one thing that at least seems kind of nice for me is like, whatever is the gift, it can be, let's like something grand or something minor, but if you feel that there has been somebody was thoughtful, you know what I mean, that they had you in mind, that it's not
Exactly.
just the same thing, that counts for a lot. It doesn't in the end matter if it's €1,000 or like €5 if you feel like, oh my god, this person was like kind of spot on, that this is what I want, that this is what I needed, or I really like, oh, it's really nice that they knew that I like this, and this kind of stuff. I think at least that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
No?
Yes.
So it doesn't
But
really matter. So if you get, for example, you get a chocolate that you were craving for, and then somebody buys it, so, oh, that's really nice, you know, or like that. I'm kind of running low with the battery here, even with this eats a lot, it seems, when you are streaming. So let's see how I can manage.
Okay, but anyway, like like I was thinking like yes, like, but many people, I think, like they are really dependent of the material thing, and more nowadays I am like concerned, with the kids, that if they don't have this, they don't have that, because they are showing everywhere, that they are exposing, for example, in the social media, and they see like all the other kids have this, but they don't have that. That is like they make them feel less, when it's not like that. It doesn't matter, no, what they have, but what they are, just like they are.
But they have to learn that. They have to learn that, because even if you are adult, you come somewhere and there's always somebody who has it better or bigger or whatever, you know.
Yes,
Doesn't
and this
matter.
is, I think, that there is like, we should increase like strategies, no, in the kids or in the people to be less dependent of material things, no, like putting more in value what is the value thing, no, that is the person.
Respect is the thing.
Yes.
I think respect is the thing.
Yes.
I think I have to say there are times still like I don't know, maybe there's like some things that you just have, like material things. It's like somehow let's say that it's like you make a sandwich and you expect to have ham and cheese, and if you don't have both, then it's a little bit like, but I really like both, man, or something like this. Then I have sometimes things. I have this kind of feeling that when I see that it seems that many people have something. I don't. Of course, in some things, it's like, well, that would be kind of nice to have that too, but I think it's a bit rare. And it depends what you value, of course. Like maybe there is like, I don't know. Especially, I think, again, like getting a little bit older. When I was a kid, I think there was this that, hey, everybody in the yard had this kind of like a gun that shoots discs. So somehow eventually I got one also, and everybody had a Commodore 64, so I got one also when I was a kid eventually, and this kind of things happened.
Yeah, but is that materialistic, or is that just going with how society grows? No.
In a sense, yeah, but of course it is materialistic because it's material, and then you want the same computer than everybody else has. And I remember when the computers were still kind of expensive and scarce, I was kind of like I want to have one too, basically for paying some kind of Panzer General game or something like this.
Mm.
But I think
And yeah,
eventually
I mean, like,
it's pretty much.
yeah, but I mean, like that. Also, that doesn't mean that that material things are not important. And nowadays, you need material things in order to survive. But like the dependency of this, that is not that okay, you know. But for example, talking about material things, like talking about material things, for example, like we will not mind if you will, for example, pues donate in this my coffee, you know, buy me a coffee for our channel. We will not mind, but it's not really mandatory or anything like this. This is what I mean, because we will continue making the streams anyway, but with our quality, what we can. But if you want better quality, you would like to that we make like better content and so on, because we also have to eat and all these kind of things. So yeah, so that is something.
Can I say one thing?
Yes.
Can I say one thing? I would like to say, I'm not saying that it's mandatory, but it's mandatory. So buy me a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Now, por favor. Okay.
So, but moving on, yeah, like I think that we should focus in increasing that people is not so dependent of material things.
I heard two voices.
Yes.
I couldn't hear anything because you both were talking.
Now. Suomipoika.
I couldn't.
I am here. I'm waiting that somebody says something.
Say something now.
Something.
Hey.
What is
that?
That?
My phone. That was my phone.
Okay.
Ole. So hey, I might be losing battery at some point, so don't worry. Then finish off without me.
Okay.
I will find my back inside the houses where I 12.
Okay, and what about like?
I don't like this.
Like,
can we put it in another?
Safe travels.
Can you okay, good. What about like power of manipulation from people? You know, like because this is a chain, the invisible chain that someone can have with us that can be rather from the materialism thing, but also could be like emotional thing.
Yeah.
So that's like a chain also, no?
Yeah, I guess so.
Manipulation chain.
I mean, like a manipulation. Yeah. Yes.
I think somebody would say that somebody has hooks in you or something. It's like an Iron Maiden song or something like this.
It's in the Hellraiser movies.
Hooks in you if you have like some kind of like chain attached to the hook. I think maybe that's, I don't know if that's the expression somehow to understand better, or maybe I'm totally confused. But yeah, I think totally, of course.
Let's put it
in material sort of way.
Let's put it in another way, like a chain can be used for to, you know, like you can see it like yeah, it's like you are trapped on something, no? And that you have a dependency, like we were talking about, like about someone else, like can be your boss, for example, that is trapping you through the material things, or can be a father or a mother, or can be also a friend, and can be not only with the material things, but with the emotional threat. You
Can
know,
be aliens too.
yes, can be also. So how do you see this subject, like about this chain, this kind of change?
Yeah, well, definitely that can be probably even harder to break that chain, sort of, no?
Yeah.
Because if it's like something really concrete, that if it's really, well, let's say that you have you yourself that you have been chained from the net to the wall, then if that's the only thing that's stopping you, that is pretty clear. But you could be sitting on a room, you know, like without having that physical chain, and you will not get out because you are somehow otherwise chained, like not like materialistic, like physically. So maybe that's much more difficult. Like it comes to addiction and stuff like that, that there is like physical addiction, and then, well, let's say this, that I quit smoking 2 years ago, I think. I still have this feeling that I want to smoke sometimes, and it cannot be any more like physiological thing. I didn't smoke any cigarette.
But now we are talking about like that someone is manipulating you, or through material or emotional. This is a chain, a kind of like half a chain on you. Not about like a
yes.
but through that.
I know. Yeah, but that was, I guess, my reference to having somebody's manipulating you with not a material thing, and that was like an example on my view from that. That, for example, I've been hooked to this, and it's not material, and I shouldn't be physically in any way.
Yeah, but this is a substance. But what about if the manipulator is a person?
Yes, can be also feelings,
I
desires.
understood what you meant. That's my point. I wanted to example that it's like immaterial, sort of like a person have something, still have some relation to cigarette, physical shouldn't be. You can control you. It's all in the head. Would say
he's falling away.
It happens.
Yeah.
Maybe with noticing, even maybe it's probably more common than people think. I think.
We cannot hear you.
Maybe it's
actually.
not like. How about now?
Yeah, I guess because you are moving.
Yes,
that
now.
also makes the difference.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my shoes are
so can you
enough
make it fast, your point, because it was impossible to hear anything.
Yeah, it was just my reference to this, that basically I have like some still that I have to smoke sometimes.
Nothing.
Even I don't.
Okay, no. So I guess that you are losing connection. You are losing battery now. Anyway. So, but I think like
light from down the streets.
Yeah, I think that also media plays a manipulating, role, in on us, and what the key of this is like, how can we protect ourselves from being manipulated from another person or other subjects? How can what do you think?
I think that's sometimes really difficult, and sometimes if they are really good in it, you cannot defend. You can only experience, and someday in time you discover, and then it hurts, and then
what kind of techniques could you use to notice if you are being manipulated or not?
Truth. Always talk the truth. Always.
No, but I mean, like, to become aware that you are being manipulated or not. What can you do? Do you have any trick or anything that you could share?
See if the word fits the action of that person.
Yeah.
Mostly people who manipulate tell you nice stories or nice words or stuff like that, or promise you beautiful things or whatever, or can be anything. And they can even do that in the beginning, or like in a relationship or something, or show it in the beginning. But that's to get you in their grasp, to put the hooks with the chains in you, and then when they notice that the hooks are there, then they pull back. And that's a real difficult thing, because it can be, and that's the difficult part of it. It can be that manipulative people can damage you that far that that your resistance against that, your hatred or your pain or your fears or whatever, also affects to good people who don't want to manipulate you, and that's the difficult part.
Yes, that's the collateral damages. Yes.
Mhm. And that's the thing that you see, that manipulative people who do really bad, because manipulation also is a little bit a normal thing in life, but when it goes too far and they use it in a bad way, yeah, those are the sick people, those are the, yeah, I call them sick people. Yeah.
So how would
Dangerous.
you suggest, yeah, like, so your trick is like to see if the facts match with the words, no?
With the words, and yeah, you have to be self-aware and stuff like that, like, because if you show the desire to a hello,
Hello.
if you show the desire to a manipulative person, the manipulative person will use that desire or your temptation to get the hooks in you. So that's the thing
Yeah.
to keep in mind.
Yeah. So yeah, do you have any special trick to prevent manipulation, passive from other people?
Zero contact.
Contact zero.
Typical
Yes.
Finnish.
No, that's
Finish.
actually one thing. There is like, I think, well, I guess it could be probably that there would be like huggers that you cannot deal with, and then that's the only way. And finally, if with that is only sure way, like that you have no business with some people who try to manipulate you. I think that's the only sure, because there is people that you cannot sort of win to play, and you cannot win. Like they have hooks in you, and you're gonna go. And also, like, well, then I think also it's not to play games in some manner. Could be that you just are pretty straightforward. You don't enter to a game. But the problem is, I guess, that then somebody plays so well that you don't understand that you're playing a game. But I think that if you are very careful, that it could be that you can, like that you keep it simple and you don't go to the branches or whatever some people might say. That basically you keep it like, why is that? So can you explain? No, I don't mean that. That if you can, like, not be fooled, or like you can concentrate really well, and that you're updated, sort of like, I don't know what am I saying anymore. I mean that if you can be really concentrated on the matter and you pay attention a lot. So, but that could be the problem also, that it takes, for example, someone like me, that might take a lot of energy to pay attention extended period.
But like there is like, I recommend for this, like, well, there is like normally I was reading like a book really good, called Love Zero, Amor Cero in Spanish, and it's about like, yeah, like all the like for example, like relations with narcissists and stuff like that, and the techniques of manipulation that they use, like gaslighting and all this kind of stuff. So it's really good, like to understand what, for example, Paz is saying, that is about like to make contact zero, because the problem with when a person like a narcissist or psychopath gets engaged with a normal person, you don't have to have a problem, but a normal person will get hooked on these persons. The problem is that if you are empathic, you are gonna always lose. Always, you have nothing to do, because you are gonna always have hope that the other person is gonna change, or that no, that never happens. You know.
Yeah,
So-
but an empathic, a strong empathic person who really has dealt a lot of in life and stuff like, has a lot of experience, but that's only, I guess, a tiny little bit of all the empath. There, an empath can conquer a narcissist. Yeah, but that's only a few times, like a little percent of all the empaths. You know, let's say.
What do you mean?
An empath can show the because narcissistic people have a really they carry a really pain in them. That's the trigger of their narcissistic behavior and stuff. Empath has another trigger, but in some way it's like narcissist and empath are like negative and positive. They go to each other, you know, like that. And if you have a really high, strong empath, that is so strong that that empath can heal a bit, heal the wound inside the narcissist. But yeah, then it can happen. But it's a chance of 1 of the 100,000 or something. You know, it's not a risk you want to take as an empath. You know.
No, because you are gonna pay it with your life and your health, probably. Wait a second, that I am gonna open the door, and well, I think that we had enough, so we can conclude and resume. How did you get out of the chain tonight? While I am gonna open the door to my dog.
Yeah, well,
Or maybe not.
I have to say that in general, it's been more cool for me to stream outside, literally and otherwise too, because the connection kind of sucked, and I apologize my bad connection and stuff like this. I will stream likely outside again next
You were
time.
out of the chain, so that is a good thing. You were free.
Or maybe somebody has an idea to get the connection inside of your home.
Uh-huh.
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, hey, if we get enough coffee thing, maybe we can have a Starlink.
Yeah,
It's a satellite thing
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
that would be good.
The Starlink, you mean?
Yeah,
The Musk stuff. What?
support for the Starlink.
Yes. We aim for the Starlink, whatever. I don't even know what. While
Yeah.
we also get one of them, you know, like transporters that you can bzzz, and then you're gonna be bzzz in another place. That would be.
Yeah, we want them too,
Yeah.
The world, you know.
but with bot check recognition.
Yeah, well, I'm working on it,
Okay, that's good.
so we don't
Okay.
need to buy that yet. What?
Huh?
Moving on. We don't need to butt into that now. I'm working on it. But yeah. But
Yeah. So I think we are done now.
yeah, I think so.
We're
Yeah.
done. Yeah,
Okay. So, yeah, basically like
What do
yes,
you say? What do you want to
Nothing?
conclude, Steve?
nothing.
We
The
were talking about
resume. I think that as a resume, if you want, I can give what we have
Oh,
been talking
yes.
about, because I think like for me, I feel like the chain represent anything that can hook you from the inner or out. From in or out can be your own wishes that make you enslaved of yourself, or can be the wishes from others that wants to use you in order to get their purposes. That is this why the manipulation, or why the material things, or the material things is like what Pase was telling, like a substance that has power on you, no? That makes you like to be in a chain. And then it was like nice that that Mark was telling about this chain reaction thing, like as a chain of a consequence of like a process of like a reaction, like one thing leads to the other and to the other to the other. So yeah, that's in a resume what we have been talking about, and giving our inner tips about how to get out of the chain, you know. A friend, I would like to add, like a friend of me said that it's a good signal that when if you are gonna liberate or you try to escape from the chain, what is the reaction, the reaction around you when there is people that offers opposition? That means that you are in a chain. If people doesn't react, probably you are not in a chain. But when people is starting to lose their shit because you start to make like something different, then you can be sure that you are in a chain. This is my
I wonder, because
Final wise words.
I wonder, maybe I'm in a chain and you are in a chain and everybody's in a chain, but also I just have in general this kind of idea that people have expectations on other people. Maybe it's exactly the chain then, but that people don't really like when people do something different. You have an idea. I have an idea how you are. I have an idea how Mark is. I have an idea about how my dog or my parrot or whatever would be. And if they would be different, then maybe there is like, maybe that's the chain thing then, or it's just like because it's not what you expect. I don't know.
So an expectation can be a chain also. Yeah. So it's like because expectation gives you an emotion. Yes.
So everything can be a chain.
Everybody, so there is chains everywhere.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
It's like Hellraiser or was it like Hell on Earth 2 Motorhead songs? Muy bien.
So now we say goodbye. No? So we have to summarize the key points.
Say goodbye.
And then, well, I guess that, once upon a time, una española en Nederlander. En Nederlander.
Nederlander.
Yeah. Want to thank you all for joining us tonight. really, really late in Europe. And
Out of the morning.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, collaborate with us by donating in Buy Me a Coffee, and give us a like if you enjoy the content, even if you are gonna see it later. And of course, like hit the bell. Hit the bell. Why you have to hit the notification bell? Yeah, to stay. Yeah, to stay tuned for our next streaming session, because you cannot miss it, of course. So see you next time.
No.
And well, adios.
Adios. Amigos.
Hasta la vista.
Baby.
Maybe. And Suomipoika, we don't hear him anymore. Yeah.
Farewell.
No, we don't hear him.
No, doe maar.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Woo!
Bye.